say boy, I think when you say good boy, he always looks because it sounds like McCoy.
Say good boy. He's a good boy. Come here, sleep in your eyes.
In 5, 4, 3, 2. Whoa. So
Yeah, everybody
you.
make sure you speak into your mic well.
just release that. Okay. And 3, 2, and take it.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk with BRAN.
And Kat.
Really, it's Kat and BRAN, but tonight it's BRAN and Kat. Anyway, welcome to Hamilton Radio. We are excited to have our lovely guest this evening, Maria Lutz from Greyhound Friends of New Jersey.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And this is also my sister, by the way. Anyway, we have quite a few things to talk about. First, I just wanted to get to the date, and I needed to mention the date because it is November 25th, Thanksgiving week, which means, have
Black
you
Friday.
been shopping the Black Friday sales?
Yes.
Have you heard about any good Black Friday
I
sales?
actually have. I heard
Really?
that New York City Glitz in Pine Beach.
Really?
Word on the street.
Oh my goodness, do tell.
They are opening at 8 o'clock this Friday.
No way. What
And
kind of
from-
sale are they having?
Apparently, word on the street, 8 to 10, they're doing 50% off.
Wow.
That's
10
good.
to 12, 40% off. And the rest
Wow.
of the weekend, 30% off.
Really? So
Yes.
50%
From
off.
8 to 10 a.m.
With their great prices?
Yep.
That was a shameless plug. We're so sorry.
You're sure to find something.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
Anyway, back to Greyhound Friends of New Jersey and my lovely sister Maria Lutz, who she has bought with her one of her fur children, McCoy. Maria, obviously, I know so much of your story,
Yes.
but I would just like to start by introducing McCoy with Sue Smith, who's handling him and is also his babysitter, and tell me a little bit about McCoy.
McCoy. So McCoy
Want to
is
bring-
actually
you can bring him right over.
Southern McCoy, and he is a retired racing greyhound. He's 5 years old. He'll be 6 in January. He had 94 races,
Wow.
so he had quite a successful career. And now his job is to be a family member in the Lutz household in Monroe Township, New Jersey. We actually adopted McCoy only 5 weeks ago because
Wow.
we have 3 other greyhounds, Lemon Drop, Big Buddy Bob, and then we lost our beloved Chief just shy of his 13th birthday. Needless to say, we were all heartbroken over it. But my husband Frank and I feel that we have room in our home and room in our heart for another dog, and so after grieving Chief, we did decide to, in Chief's name and in Chief's memory, to give Southern McCoy a home. So he's come into our life, and we love him, and so far he is a very happy member of our household.
Yeah, that is something we obviously do talk about often, Maria and I. When you lose a pet, they are truly family members. But with rescue or rehoming or adoption, truly it's never too soon, I believe, to give a home to another animal, because it's never too soon for the animal who doesn't have a home. And that pretty much is the theme of tonight, and why we're doing this so close to the holidays, is finding a home for the holidays, because my understanding is there are 15 greyhounds coming to Greyhound Friends of New Jersey. What date is that?
It's December 7th.
Yes.
December
yes,
7th?
Yes.
Somebody was studying
Somebody,
his
somebody
homework.
read his notes.
Good
don't-
job, Brandon.
Okay.
Yes.
So where are these dogs coming from?
So these dogs are coming from Florida. So
Okay.
they were all racers in Florida. They're now retired, and they will actually make the trek from Florida to New Jersey in time for the holidays, in time for Santa, and hopefully they'll find a home. So they come into our organization, which is Greyhound Friends of New Jersey. They're screened, profiled, temperament tested, cat tested, because about half of the greyhounds can live with small animals and the other half can't. So they will be tested, and then for approved applicants, there is a screening process.
Right.
Like with any type of adoption, there's a screening process. For approved applicants, they can come out and meet the dogs and hopefully find a family member.
Oh,
Wonderful.
that's awesome.
Now, there are, and I did own greyhounds, and I know a lot about greyhounds from you, and I love my new nephew and my other nephew, Bob, and niece, and all the greyhounds that I've met all over the years. And I did have greyhounds as pets, and they do make wonderful pets. I had just gotten to the point where I think maybe I just didn't want a larger breed. Not that they act like a large breed, but, you know, I love them all dearly. What exactly is the process when they come here, though? When the dogs get to New Jersey from the track, what happens then?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, all of our dogs are vetted, which means we do not adopt a dog out that has not been spayed or neutered and completely vaccinated. So if they come to Florida already vetted, then technically they're ready for a home. If they are not vetted, then we need to have them spayed and neutered, because we would never put an unspayed or unneutered dog into a home. So the process is either that they're ready for their home, or they have to go to the veterinary hospital to have the proper procedure. As far as what happens, they come here, they get off the haul, they're amazingly calm after their trip. Right. Of course, they're given some water, given some food. Eventually, they're bathed and they're profiled and tested, and how they are with people. Obviously, if there are children, it's always good to be able to test them with children. They have to be tested with small animals. And then basically they need a day or two to decompress, because it's been quite a ride, and frankly, just coming to New Jersey, the temperature is different, the climate's different, and their whole life has been at the racetrack.
And where does that take place? That, when you say they need time to decompress, do they go right to a foster home, right to a kennel? Where?
Well, we have a kennel where we lease space. It's called Pinelands Country Kennel, if I can do a shameless plug for them. It's in South Jersey.
We're all for shameless plugs.
We're all for shameless plugs, right?
Plug.
But they come to our kennel, and it's a great environment because that's where they can stay and relax. But frankly, our goal is to move them out of the kennel as quickly as possible. Right. So basically, it's a three-pronged process. After people come to see the dogs, they either can go into a forever home, and everybody knows that a forever home is a permanent home. They can go to a foster home, or here comes another shameless plug, they can go to Sue Smith's, my friend Sue, who you just saw, her prison foster program. And this is something that we really pride ourselves in.
That is a program, actually, that I do want to get into more, and I'm going to bring Sue up here in a few minutes so we can talk about that. When you say that Sue's program, is that something Sue started?
Well, actually, no. Sue, it was started
before. You could have given Sue credit.
I know.
Right? Really?
Well,
right.
she took it to new heights.
Oh, okay.
But actually, Sue can tell you her story. The prison program was in existence, and her first greyhound that she adopted was from the prison.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And then when the prior president retired, right, and we have our new president, Sue became the prison coordinator. So she's really taken it. I believe, and Sue can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we started with 3 greyhounds, right, and now there can be 12 to 15 greyhounds in the prison.
How long has Greyhound Friends of New Jersey
Over
been?
30 years. Wow. We've been doing greyhound adoption for 30 years, which is really amazing.
Something, believe it or not, I don't know, and I just want to bring it back because I want to make sure we cover everything. So, and like myself, you think quickly and you like to get it all out there like I do, but I want to make sure we touch on every subject, but things that I don't know. For example, Bucky, your first greyhound.
Bucky.
Remember Bucky?
He was great.
So how did that start originally?
You know, my husband Frank and I, your brother-in-law, joke about this all the time, because technically in today's world, we would be the worst, most ill-prepared adopters. We did not have a dog. We lived in a townhouse in New Brunswick, but we used to say, oh, wouldn't it be nice to get a dog? And we read a newspaper article. Yes, that's when people read newspaper articles and didn't read them online, although Frank
still does.
Still reads the newspapers.
Yes,
we read an article about retired racing greyhounds making good pets, and we said, oh, maybe we should adopt a greyhound. We filled out a paper application, sent in $10, and the newspaper article said, in 4 to 6 weeks, someone will call you. So I figured, well, that's plenty of time to decide whether this is a good idea or the absolute horrible idea. 2 days later, the woman called me and said,
was it Barbara?
It was Barbara. And I shouldn't imitate someone, right? But she said, I have this dog, and someone was supposed to adopt him. Somebody was supposed to adopt him, and they can't. Do you want him? And I'm like, well, we're not exactly prepared. And my one and only question was, do they shed? Which, relatively speaking, there should have been a lot more things I was concerned about. And so she suggested I read a book. And 2 days...
Just read a book in general or about greyhounds?
About greyhounds.
Oh.
Retired Racing Greyhounds for Dummies, which is the book that we still recommend.
Yes.
And 2 days later, this big white, I say horse because that's exactly what he
Right.
looked like,
He did.
walked into our house. And I think that we were lucky because now we really like our adopters to be a little more prepared than I
Right.
was. But he was the world's most perfect dog. So I think for first time adopters that weren't very prepared, he was great.
And how long ago
That
was
was
that?
the beginning of a beautiful friendship, as
Yes.
they say in Casablanca. That was 2002, so that was 17 years ago. We got our first greyhound.
That's still
And
that's
you've
pretty
had
recent.
him. I'm sorry,
I
Brandon.
was just saying that seems still pretty recent.
Yeah.
Wasn't that long ago?
Well, you probably feel like the whole time I've known you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
I've had greyhounds. Yes, 17 years.
And give me some of the qualities. I know a lot of them, but I want to hear them about a greyhound.
Well, I think
Having
the
a
best
greyhound as a-
qualities
as a
is
pet.
to start by the misconceptions. And the misconceptions are because people see them race, they figure they are very high energy, very energetic.
Like you.
Yes,
But they're
we're a
actually
perfect
not.
match.
Yeah, but they're not.
But they're not. And I
They're
am.
more like
So-
me.
Right. But actually, what
Don't
makes
mind
greyhound,
bedding, laying on my bed,
You-
watching
you-
trash TV.
you would be a perfect greyhound.
I actually.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Are you-
built-
are you available for
I have
adoption?
a little more body fat. That's part of the problem.
But I think that what the thing that comes to my mind when people say why do they make such good pets? They're calm, they're gentle,
that's
they're
unlike me.
they're low energy. Yeah.
Never mind. I'm not like a
Easy
greyhound
going?
anymore. Oh no, no. We have
Low-
nothing in common. I'm sorry.
Low
McCoy.
energy,
What was that?
low
Low
energy,
energy.
Loyal.
loyal. And I think probably adaptable would be a word because I think what's shocking to me is now that I'm on the board and I screen people and help place greyhounds, the people will call me and Sue can attest to this that night and say the dog walked in my house and is lying on the bed by the fireplace watching the New York Jets. How is this possible? Sorry, that was a plug.
That
for
was a shameless
yesterday's
plug.
big win.
Yeah.
Yesterday's big win. How can a dog who lived at the track and they're just adaptable? They generally get along with other dogs. They generally get along with children. Some can be around small animals, some can't, but they really are an easy breed. And people are shocked that when they come to an event, a picnic, a craft show, there could be 200 greyhounds in a room or at a park and nobody's barking. That
Right.
kind of says a lot about the breed.
Right.
Absolutely.
Although they do rue.
They rue.
This
Yes,
running thing is
yes,
really cool.
yes. And they're sprinters at the track. So really, a good romp in the yard or a good walk, they come back and can sleep for hours.
And what
Wow.
is there? I know there's more we need to get into here, but the speed. We've heard all different things because I remember at one time, maybe before the internet was so accessible, that we had spoken about the greyhound being the second fastest land animal, second to only a cheetah, I believe.
Yes,
But
very
then
good.
Jeff and I one day driving, and if you want to Google this, Mr. Dostal over there, what actually is the fastest land? Or is it land animal? We found out that there is some animal, right, that goes like 200 miles an hour. Is
Really?
that-
Oh,
It's some
that
kind of
sounds
bird.
like a Learjet. Oh,
That-
could be maybe because it's a bird and therefore not a mammal, or is a bird
I don't know.
a mammal?
It was something. He's gonna.
What?
What is it? Oh, a peregrine falcon.
Falcon, a bird?
Peregrine. Am I saying that right?
Wow.
Falcon. So that's not sort of an animal,
Right.
but how fast do they go?
On their dive, about 200 miles an hour.
Oh my
When
God.
they're
Wow.
di-
It's like an airplane.
That's interesting, right?
Wow. Doesn't
That's
it?
a fun fact. If any of you
If
are
you're-
ever on Jeopardy, you can take this tidbit of information
Yeah.
and bring it along with you. But greyhounds do go 45 miles an hour,
They do.
and I've seen them
Wow.
run. And I will say this too. This would be a perfect dog for Brandon, because Brandon is a little bit hoity-toity. Sorry, I love Brandon dearly,
Brandon.
but
Hoity-toity.
hoity-toity.
Erica, is Brandon
Maybe I
not-
think it's a compliment to be hoity-toity.
no, it's nice. I love you dearly, and but you
Hoity-toity.
know that we're. You
All right, maybe
wait-
yes.
Brandon, do you ever
Maybe a
carry a
li-
bag that's not designer?
Maybe a little hoity-toity.
And greyhounds used to only be owned
So
by
royalty, right?
royalty.
Right.
So
did read
I
that.
feel like a greyhound in a home that right now has no pets, has no kids, Janine would love a nice fur kid.
This is true. Yeah.
And,
Yes.
But so are we comparing myself to royalty then?
oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll take that.
And I would also think, Brandon, when you think about it, you're fashionable. Greyhounds are fashionable.
Oh,
Oh,
they are
absolutely.
absolutely.
No, they're
They
definitely
you know what,
tall,
Sue? Can we
sleek.
bring him over here again?
Sue, can you, McCoy?
I honestly do want to say, and I'm not seriously,
he's a
I'm not,
beautiful dog.
I can shamelessly plug these dogs because they are beautiful. They really are, first of all, their body types, the fact that they are so muscular and they're so lean, they are regal looking. The collars don't hurt, of course. Are those 14 karat gold and platinum? Or
Well,
are
Patty
they,
Comerford, our
Okay.
dear friend from Hound Decor, makes those collars.
those collars
Aren't
are beautiful.
they beautiful?
They are beautiful. But they really are very regal, athletic, and calm. This dog has been in your house for 5 weeks.
5 weeks. Although he was in a foster home.
He wa-
So,
okay, okay, he
the
was.
lovely and talented Patty, who made the collars, is also an amazing foster mom.
Hi, Patty. Hi,
And-
Linda.
Hi,
we-
Patty. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Frank.
She fostered McCoy,
Hi, Carlos.
so she
didn't wanna
helped
forget
make him
Carlos.
into be such a great pet.
Carlos Gutierrez. Maybe we can have him on as a guest. He could do some like Krav Maga.
Oh,
Because
that-
I know
yeah,
what
that
Krav
would be
Maga is
cool,
now,
actually.
right?
Absolutely.
Greyhounds and Krav Maga. Okay,
He can fight you, Bran.
let's. Ooh, wait, is that the audience? Someone piping in?
I would say, who
Excuse
is
me,
that?
you don't have a mic, honey.
Please lower
All
your
right, with your
voice.
Suzanne Summers ponytail and your tag on your shirt. You just stay right over there. Brandon and I are busy doing our show. Okay, thank you. We'll talk to you afterwards. Give you an autograph and a picture. Look at it. Spicy. Okay,
The
so
veins
really,
popping out.
let's get some more information. Fundraising. Greyhound Friends of New Jersey, my understanding, is completely run financially on you all working your tails off
Oh.
and people donating
Yes.
and doing what they can to raise money. This
Yes.
is completely done. This isn't backed any other way.
No.
Okay.
And thank
So
you
talk
for
to
that.
me
That's so
about the
nice of you to say.
fundraising.
Yes, it is really a grassroots, feet on the street, on the ground, labor intensive fundraising process because the dogs have to be transported here. They have
Thank
to
you,
be
Raymond.
vetted. Yes, Raymond.
everybody else.
Yes, right. We have to give a shout out to
And
Raymond.
especially Sue, who's sitting over there. Oh my gosh, what doesn't she do?
She does everything.
You really are amazing,
She
Sue.
works so hard for the dogs, and all of this comes at a cost. I mean, when you need veterinary care, and it really can be very, very expensive. Crates and leashes and collars and medical and transport and medication, and so to adopt a greyhound is $300, which for a purebred dog is really very reasonable. And as I say to people, the reason why we are able to charge $300 is because of the fundraising. Because if we had to transfer the cost of what a greyhound costs us
adoptee.
to the adopter, it
I'm
would
sure.
become cost prohibitive.
Right.
But that's why every day, and if you're on the Greyhound Friends of New Jersey Facebook page or my Facebook page or Sue's or even Kathy who shares our fundraisers, there is never a day of the year where we are not fundraising for something. We can never take our foot off the gas
Right.
because if we're going to help these dogs the way we want to, then we have to continue to fundraise.
Give us some of the type of fundraisers that you do. I know there's always something going on. I know because I'm always invited to some sort of. It always involves alcohol. I guess maybe I'm always tasting wine or bowling with beer. There's
Yes.
always something going on
You know,
that
it's-
involves alcohol and food.
Well, I'm
And
wondering
baskets.
if people
a lot
are
of
enjoying
baskets.
the
Mommy
food and
makes
drinking.
baskets.
Yes.
Well, my mother just sits home and makes bows.
makes
She's
bows.
like, you're like Kathy Lee Gifford and the
Yes.
with the.
Yes.
Sorry, Kathy Lee. I'm sure you're not watching, but if you are, kind of what she used to do with those kids, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's just-
We have
mommy's
to
one
use
of
all.
those.
That's right. Feet on the ground and
Yes.
hands
Maybe.
working. But yes, you're right. And maybe if you have a full stomach and you're a little buzzed, maybe you spend more money. So there's probably
That's
some
true.
theory there.
We should do that to the New York
I
City
was
Lift
gonna say,
shoppers.
put just a bar in the middle.
Right, when they walk
All the
in, give them a
moms.
drink.
Exactly.
Exactly. But basically, we have events and then we have online fundraisers because the
Right.
internet is a beautiful thing. So, what we do is the events that you go to, the dinners, the tricky trays, the craft shows, shows, the bowling for greyhounds, movies for greyhounds, picnics. Those are all the event-driven fundraisers.
Right.
And then, of course, we do online auctions.
Right.
Right now we're selling luggage tags. We do Facebook fundraisers. We sell things.
Yes,
we
well, you
raffle
have
things.
Greyhound everything. I have Greyhound
Yeah.
bracelets, Greyhound magnets, Greyhound
Pictures.
shirts, Greyhound pictures, Greyhound.
Well, didn't
name
you
it.
ask me
Yeah,
to
all
put
of your
this
house.
Oh,
handbag?
yes. I do actually love that bag, though.
This handbag, if you can see it closely, has, whoops, it's vinyl, but I guess that's okay.
We can,
It's
no, tell Brandon it's leather.
It's right.
tell Brandon.
It's
Oh,
a
Brandon,
greyhound
it's
here, and it's a greyhound here, and it kind of has an Art Deco look.
Oh,
Thank
Doc
you,
G
Arma-
is, oh, this is like
Thank you.
QVC.
He's gonna
we have
model
Doc
it.
G, they're showing the bag. The bag's tonight, $39.95. If you call in the next
Yes.
35 seconds, we're running out. How many
Yes.
bags do we have left?
That's right.
No kidding, the bags are not for sale.
If it's not nailed down, it's for sale, right? It's for raffle.
Oh, and here's Ruben.
Oh,
my God, there we go. Oh my God.
I just hold it.
You
They
guys,
love the
They're styling it.
handbag.
they do, don't they?
Oh, I'm so, that was a last minute decision to throw everything in
And
that
I'm so glad
handbag.
you
I'm so,
did.
thank you for your help.
And thank
You're
you, Doc
hired.
G.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
where can someone purchase a beautiful bag like that?
Well, I think I won this in an auction, of course.
And you probably
And-
paid $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 by
dollars
the
for
time you were
a
done with
plastic
the auction.
vinyl, $13, but it's all for the dogs.
That's all that
Yes.
matters.
Oh God, what did I pay for this? I'm not sure,
I
but
I don't
God
remember.
knows.
But
when
yes.
we went to an event recently and sat with the lovely Sue. Sue and I were nibbling before anybody else because we were a little hungry, you know. What can we say? We were shamelessly eating before anybody else. And we bought so many tickets because I was like, there's not that many people here. And I bought so many tickets and I was throwing them in things that I didn't want. And every time they called that friggin' number, it was so off from my number, that one table.
yes.
Won everything. I ended up with a game that Jeff put the ticket in for that I didn't even want. What was it? It's sitting on my dining room table. I don't know. I'll
You
find
could
some-
redonate it back to the Greyhounds.
I
To go
think
to
I'm
the
going
turkey
to
trot.
have to. Yes,
Yes.
I will. Yeah, I will. It will be regifted for sure.
Okay. Leave the bow on it.
Yes, I will. And the number and everything. Good
Yes,
to go. Okay,
yes.
so I want to bring this up. So I don't know if Doc G is going to come do a close-up of these, but
Oh,
these
yes.
raffle tickets are wonderful.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this can add,
Oh.
here we go.
Oh, hi.
Go ahead, do a close up on that.
Can
We
you do
should
a
have
close-up?
Danny here. She's a little prettier than you. Sorry, she is a
So-
little prettier. There you go.
Oh, wonderful.
So these tickets can be purchased now where?
okay. So
Other than New York City Glitz.
Other than New York
because
City
In Pine
Glitz.
Beach.
So
we
this
don't
is
have
what
tickets.
we call a super 50-50. And
Super
this is
50-50.
for the Vet Eye Care Foundation. Now, this
Okay.
is another foundation
Oh,
that
this is
we're
Vet Eye
involved.
Care.
That's okay. This is a
Okay.
foundation that we're involved with North Star Vets,
Thank
which
you,
is
Gino.
Hamilton.
Next time we're all black.
Hamilton
please.
Radios.
We want the silver hair
Yes.
to pop. Okay. All right. Good. Thank you.
Go ahead, Caleb.
All right.
So North Star Vets and my friend Dr. Dan Stobie are literally neighbors of Hamilton Radio.
We love Dr. Stobie
love
too.
Dr. Stobie.
We just
He's
need
the best.
to say that he is the best.
He's the
they
best.
saved my little dog.
Yes,
that-
they've
she
saved a
needed
lot of dogs in
surgery.
New Jersey.
And yes, they are wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, wonderful hospital. And the doctors there many years ago created a foundation for people who, families and pets in need, financial need mostly, for life-saving veterinary care. So very often animals get sick. Not everybody has pet insurance. We could do a whole hour on pet insurance. And so this foundation gives grants to people in need. So we're constantly raising money for grants because the more grant money we raise, the more grants that we can provide.
Correct.
And over any year, we could have saved 100, 150 pets, not just at North Star. Actually, Vet Eye Care is nationwide. So you could be a hospital in Arizona, California, or
Right.
Connecticut and apply for a grant.
So there is a chapter, though, I'm assuming in every state has a different.
No, the chapter is here in New Jersey. They apply. So if a hospital in Connecticut needs a grant, they apply to us, and then we issue the check.
Oh,
Yes, it
really?
all comes
That's
through
awesome.
us. Yes.
Oh, that's really
It's amazing.
interesting.
It's amazing. So we have to keep the pot full so we can help more pets. So this Super 50-50 is
They've been
$5.
selling for how long? I don't
They
have a
just
copy. Can I have a
started
copy
last
of one?
week. Here you go.
Thank you.
They just started last week.
Okay.
They're $5 a chance.
Right.
So they can be purchased at North Star. They can be purchased at a number of veterinary hospitals in New Jersey. They can be purchased at New York City Glitz. They can
Oh,
be purchased.
where's that?
They can,
Pine Beach?
Pine
Is that the one
Beach.
that's having that great sale?
That great
Black
sale.
Friday?
50% off.
Wait, is it true that they've dressed like people for the red carpet?
They
like
have.
some D-listers, maybe a few A-listers, Linda Blair, who we know through Animal
Yes,
Rescue
yes.
as well. But I'm sorry, let's talk about the tickets.
So the tickets are $5 each.
Right.
The top stub comes to us. The bottom stub is your confirmation, and the winner will be selected on January 4th.
I feel like every Christmas, in my Christmas card from you,
Yes.
which you always give me money, which is really very nice. So
Is that what you want this year?
I sometimes
It's the
feel like
best gift.
you're my parent because you give me money, and it's usually a nice sized check.
Would you like
Can I
money
just
this
say,
year?
there's
Would you
also-
like a handbag like this?
I think I'll take the money, but there's also some tickets in there.
Yes.
So-
Well, what I've tried to do is
Maybe
I try
you
to
just buy me a few books.
Well,
this
I
year.
try to support the charity. So what I try to do is
buy
for
probably all
you
the
and
things.
Jep and Erica and Shayna, I buy you tickets because then if you win, everybody wins. Because it's a 50-50. So the
Right.
winner gets 50% and the foundation, I think,
Yeah, but not the person who doesn't name that they don't win.
no, the person who has the winning
Right,
ticket.
so really not everybody
And I think it was
wins.
last
No,
year.
I'm so
Sue might help
teasing.
me out this because she works
Erica.
with Vet Eye Care with me. There was one year where the winner got $8,000.
Wow.
So who would not like
Didn't
to
someone
win?
once win a car too?
We gave a car away last year. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, Vet Eye Care has some really amazing prizes.
Yeah,
So we're
really.
going to have to get Dr.
This
Stobie
is
on
a
the show
wonderful.
to
we
talk
do.
about
We spoke about
his
getting
hospital.
him
Yes.
in
January.
January,
Yes,
hopefully.
absolutely.
Okay. Another thing I want to talk about. This is wonderful. You can get them, like I said, get them at
Yes.
North Star.
And
We're
New
gonna
York
give
City
away
Glitz.
real
Come-
quick. Let's give out all the information. The Greyhound Friends in New Jersey, the website. Let's not forget to do that. So let's do that right now. It's
Okay, so the Greyhound website is greyhoundfriendsnj.org.
okay.
And I will send all that to Kathy
And we're going to put it
Brandon.
on, but this
Right.
is going to be streaming live on
Correct.
Facebook. So it's streaming on somebody's. We'll all, share it. And then we'll also put in the notation there so they don't have to watch the whole thing if they
Okay.
don't want to. The different websites. So it's
Okay.
greyhoundfriends.org.
greyhoundfriendsnj.org. And then this is veteyecare.org.
And how is that?
VETICARE.org.
Okay.
Now, can they purchase tickets through
Yes,
that website
they
as
can.
well? Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, for
Absolutely.
$5, you can't go wrong.
For $5, you
No,
could win
exactly.
$8,000.
Exactly.
$8,000. How
or
amazing.
10,000, maybe it'll be more.
Or 10,000.
And if people keep buying, it could be 20,000.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, how
Seriously,
amazing.
This is something real. If you love animals, if you have animals, and you know what it's like, you fall upon a harder time and something happens, your animal gets injured or something needs to be done. What a wonderful organization. And so I really feel like there's no reason for everyone not to purchase one ticket. One ticket.
Absolutely.
$5.
And I do think, like we said, that it's a great little stocking stuffer. Like if you want to give somebody a
Absolutely.
little gift,
Right.
a couple of tickets, one ticket, you never know.
Right.
It only takes one.
Right.
You have to be, what is it?
You
In
have
it
be
to
in
win
To
it.
win it.
Is that what it is? Yes.
In it
So
to win.
Brandon,
Santa Claus.
I am going to leave these with you
Absolutely.
to take to
Wow, we're getting a lot
the
of
New
them.
York City Glitz Black Friday sale.
Sale.
Oh, good, Maria. Okay. Another thing I really want to talk about, because this was something I didn't know that much about at all, and that is, they're giggling over there. What's McCoy doing? He's so cute. He's being such a good boy.
He is being a good boy.
It's amazing. I can't believe he's been in your house
For 5 weeks, I know.
It's amazing.
Not
And
one bark,
handsome
nothing.
and regal. Yeah, really good dogs. Okay, so these animals, I feel like it was almost, like I said before, not to be so dramatic, but sometimes I'm a little dramatic. It was almost a fall from glory in the respect that they used to belong to royalty. These are the only dog mentioned in the Bible, and I'm not trying to get all, religious here, but the only dog mentioned in the Bible. And then they became,
Right, racers.
athletes
Right, sure.
that were, I'm not saying people didn't care about them, the owners didn't care, but basically dealing with trainers and now trying to rehome these dogs. They really have such a story because they are true warriors. They now are so many of them are so involved in this blood donation
Yes.
program, which is just absolutely incredible. I don't know if you brought the bandana with you. I know a few of
do.
you. Okay.
In my bag of tricks. It's like
Yes.
Mary Poppins. Things just keep coming out. We could. Oh, where's our friend? We could put this on him. He's
Oh,
coming.
gee, come on. Yes, he's going to model.
Would you like to
I
be
hear him laughing.
Would you like to be a superhero?
Is it?
Can I stand up? I'm not.
You're not. They're not going to hear
have
you
to-
without your mic, though. Just give it to him.
You have to tie it like an ascot, like on Scooby-Doo. To the front. Yep.
And then there you go.
Probably not gonna be seen.
Oh, actually, that looks good on you. I think you should wear that all the time. Bandanas, like kind of like a little bit of a
Exactly.
denim jacket, Elvis
Exactly.
collar. What do you think, Bran?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is a wonderful thing.
This is our superhero.
Danny, what are we doing to your father? Okay, there, very good. Okay, so what this is, that's
So generally, our blood donors are dogs, but in this particular example, it's a gentleman. So just like in human medicine, all of the blood transfusions that people get when they go to the hospital come from humans. Well, there's a trivia question: where do blood transfusions come from? From dogs. Other dogs. And believe it or not, I own dogs. We had dogs as little kids. I never knew this. I never knew.
you.
Thank you so much. I never knew that's where, I guess it never occurred to me where the blood came from.
me neither. I never thought about that until this, to be honest with you.
It's amazing. So there are blood banks, that's like a tongue twister, across the country, but some of the bigger hospitals, like North Star Vets, they have their own blood bank. So what they do is they draw blood,
Right.
and then they store the blood. It does have a shelf life, but they do store it in a refrigerator. And then
Would
it's
you know, I'm just
used.
curious, shelf life. Do you know?
I,
Approximate?
Dr.
Sue?
Stobie will be mad at me if
okay.
I don't get this correct. I want to say it's 30 days, but I'm not.
Dr. Stobie, she said 30 days.
Yeah.
We're going to hold her to it.
That's
mean,
right.
that's more
If
than I would
not,
expect, honestly.
yeah. If not, then we will stand corrected. But it does have a shelf life.
Okay.
But what happens is they need donors, just like human donors, and so they put a call out for dog owners to bring their pets in to give blood. Now, there are some requirements. You have to weigh more than 30 pounds. You have to be less than 8 years old. You have to be completely healthy. And you also have to be what North Star says is a volunteer donor. Now, I know that sounds kind of a
Right.
funny thing to say about a dog, but they don't want a dog that's going to be nervous. They don't want a dog that's going to be stressed. They want a dog that is comfortable doing this because they don't want the donor to be compromised at all.
Something
So
going.
it's almost as if the person wants to give. And in this case, the dog. So what happens is greyhounds are very desirable as blood donors. First of all, they have a very calm nature. But the other reason is because their blood type is generally universal, which means they can give to any dog regardless of blood type. Most of them are universal blood donors. My big buddy Bob saved a little Yorkie this big,
Yes, you
which was
told me
such a great story because we have like a picture of Bob and the little Yorkie, except that Bob is not small animal safe, so I don't know what would have happened if Bob had been off the leash, but he did save the little Yorkie. And so they are universal blood donors, and then they also have a very high red cell count. That's just the way their body is. So 1 unit of greyhound blood can save 4 dogs.
That's amazing.
So our dogs, our greyhounds are superheroes. It takes about 15 minutes.
Right.
They go in, the technicians draw the blood, the dog lies down. My Bob, who is now retired because you can't give blood after 8 or 9 years old, used to just sleep during his blood donation. We'd have to like wake him up like, okay, Bob, you did great. They give him treats, they give him water, they go on their merry way, and they're real VIPs. And one of the really
Yeah, that's
touching
so
things that
cute.
I've done is, they put this, I'm a superhero on the dog, and when you walk out of the hospital, you have to, it's a very large hospital, and as you're walking through, you see a lot of people, and the people are like, you see that dog? That dog just gave blood. That dog saved a life. And it's really very touching. Like when people say to me, why would you want your dog to be a blood donor? I said, well, if my dog was sick and needed a transfusion, I hope that there would be a dog there to
absolutely.
help. So it's a great way to pay it forward. My feeling is we gave these dogs a home, and now they're paying back by saving lives.
Right.
And I was very touched by a note that Dr. Stobie sent me after Chief passed away, and he said a lot of nice things about Chief. And one of the things he said was, Chief helped many, many dogs along the way, because when you think about it, all those blood donations that he gave
Absolutely.
saved lives. So it's really a great program.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
something we're really
Now, is
proud
it
of.
actually this may be a silly question, but there are no silly questions, just silly people. So is this done on an actual drive? Do they set up a date and say, okay, on November 4th, we're having a blood drive from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.? Or is it just any time you want?
No, they schedule it, and
Okay.
it's spread out all year long, because
And is
remember,
it-
with a shelf life, with a big hospital like North Star,
Right.
they need blood every day. So you might have, I think they do certain days of the week, and let's say it's Tuesday and Thursday, then every Tuesday and Thursday they have blood donors coming
Now,
in.
when you go, do you see a lot of other breeds as well? Or is it, do you see a lot of
They, like I said, any dog
Right.
over the more than 30
40 pounds,
pounds
right,
and
30
can do it. But we see so many greyhounds because of their body type. They
universal.
make such
And-
good.
and-
And the other thing is we have a very good relationship with North Star. They help
Right.
us a lot with our foster dogs. They
That's
treat a
why
lot
we
of our
wanted
foster
to really
dogs.
want to get in,
Yeah.
because I know there is a relationship there, and talk to Dr. Stobie more, and also I'm just very interested in a lot of I know he's operated, I believe, on tigers. and
Yeah, there was a
things
tiger in there. There's a
There-
tiger in there recently.
Yes,
and
really
penguins and
yes, I
Yes.
remember. So some really
Yes,
interesting.
very
things, and just like
interesting.
to talk to him. That kind of gets away from the greyhound thing, and
Right.
just we just want to say this, and I know that we would all agree. Anybody, and a lot of there are a few homes I think now without fur children. No, he had a cat. His cat
Passed away,
sadly.
unfortunately.
Yes, but this does not by any means mean that we don't advocate helping the other kind of children, the non-furry type, like my non-furry child over there. We are all for helping people as well. But tonight just happens to be about really celebrating, adopting, rehoming, but we really wanted to, like I said, celebrate the greyhounds. What I'd like to do is have Sue come up here. Sue, can we get your lovely self over here to talk a little bit about the prison program? Brandon, is there other things we missed on here? I usually have my phone.
We talked about the it's vet eye care?
it's vet eye care.
Vet eye
Yes,
care. Okay.
yes, and that's the grants for
about
life-saving
fundraising.
veterinary care.
Okay, and this is the lovely Sue Smith. How you doing, Sue?
Good. How are you?
Is McCoy over there okay with
McCoy's
Jeff?
hanging
Yeah,
out.
he's doing great.
good. Okay, so Sue, I understand. First of all, you look too young to be retired, but I know you're retired, and you worked in prison, correct?
I worked for the Department of Corrections for 25 years.
And you
Wow.
seem so gentle and sweet. Were you like kind of tough and rough? You probably were.
It's a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a very different atmosphere.
Okay, so tell me more about the prison program. Exactly, how long it's been going on, how this whole thing goes down, what type of inmates get dogs.
The prison program was started way before I ever thought about adopting a greyhound.
Okay.
I believe it was 2002. And it started with 3 dogs on a whim.
Okay.
And 3 dogs went to 5 dogs, I'm told. 5 dogs went to 7. When Barbara retired from Greyhound Friends of New Jersey, I was asked if I was interested in taking over the program.
Right.
And after doing the logistics and everything with the department, I was able to volunteer and take over the program. Everything is volunteer.
Right.
So now we can do between 12 and 15 dogs.
Okay.
And we interview the inmates. Not just any inmate gets a dog.
Okay.
The inmates are trained on how to take care of the dogs.
Right.
They learn a skill.
Right.
Some of them have actually gone on to become shelter workers,
Wow.
help at a vet hospital.
Wow.
So we do know that because we've gotten the phone calls about what they did when they were in the
Yeah.
program.
So, what, like, the inmates that get a dog, they take care of the dog while they're,
While-
the greyhound goes to the prison, and this inmate is responsible for caring for that greyhound. What do they do with that greyhound? Is that how it works?
Yeah, the greyhounds live right with the inmates in the cell.
They live with them, right?
Yes, they live
Okay.
right in the cell with
So,
them.
so every day, all day, every day, when the dog
Every
has to
day.
go out,
Yep.
wow.
Yep. They're on a schedule up there.
Okay.
Which kind of makes it an easy transition from the track environment
Right.
to really their first foster home.
Right.
So they come into the program, and the inmates, they dote on them, they love them. I mean, they're always willing to show me what they've taught the dog, what the dogs can do.
Can the inmates, like you said, they're chosen? Are for the most part people who are getting out? These aren't people who.
They're usually in the 18 to 26 bracket.
Right.
They're not from some of the we're not in any of the violent institutions.
Right. Okay.
And it's pretty regimented program.
Right.
That everybody understands. They understand they're there. They're volunteering
Right.
because they volunteer just like we do.
Right. Right.
So
And it probably, talk about a win-win, because in that situation, it really brings me back to that whole rescue, rehoming. When, I've seen the bumper stickers or things that say, who saved who. And I'm sure in that scenario, those inmates, maybe for the first time in their life, are really learning to love, not saying inmates don't love them, but I'm just saying they're learning maybe a new type of love, an unselfish kind of love. They have to take care of that dog before they take care of themselves. If that dog has to go out and they have to go to the bathroom, they have to tend to the dog first. So it's probably really a beautiful relationship that gets established. It's
correct.
probably very.
It's a win-win program. Greyhound Friends can take let's just say 12 extra dogs that we're not paying someone to take care of.
Right.
We provide the food, we provide whatever they need at the prison,
Right.
but that's a lot less than paying boarding
Right.
fees day by day for
Right.
12 dogs.
Right. So they teach the dogs.
They teach the dogs to walk nice on a leash.
Right.
Some dogs are a little shyer than others.
Right.
They need more time.
Right.
And that's what the prison program gives us.
And now, how long do they stay there?
Until they go to a foster home or they
Okay.
get adopted.
Okay. And many times, it must be very sad though, many times when they depart.
And the guys, I mean, they love these dogs to death.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the ones that don't work out aren't in the program anymore.
Right.
It's very simple.
Right.
The officers get involved.
Aw.
The civilians come over and see the dogs.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
nice.
it's a really a nice program. It's been, like I said, it's been around since 2002, and it's
Right.
evolved.
Right. So now, if an inmate has a dog, and the dog gets adopted out, and that inmate did very well, can they get another dog?
Yes.
So they could. Okay, and then I think Maria had told me that sometimes when they get out, they then adopt a greyhound.
Yeah, we have a couple of scenarios where when the inmate was still incarcerated, their family has adopted the dog that their son, because this is all men, that the son took care of. But we have one scenario where that exact situation happened. The inmate did very well. He was released from prison. The dog passed away. And then now he's a mature man and he just adopted another greyhound.
Right.
So, and like Sue is saying, it's so interesting that you brought up the subject, Kathy, about, that today we're focusing on animals, but that, we love people as much. The prison
absolutely,
program
we
is
do.
the ideal situation where it is the marriage of people and pets who love them, because when you think about it, that's what the prison program is. It's a benefit to the inmates who are learning responsibility, learning to care for something, and it's a benefit for the dogs who are getting trained. We have adopters that apply for dogs and say, I only want a prison dog because they're so well-mannered
Right.
and so well-trained. So it's really a win. We say there aren't many things in life that are win-wins. That's a real win-win.
The other thing I really love about this adoption group is there have been times personally where I have called you, where I have a friend or somebody that I know, and there's dogs in North Carolina.
Oh, yes.
And they're in a kill shelter. And I call you, and I know if I call you, you guys make it work. And it doesn't have to be a greyhound. It can be any sort of
Absolutely.
hound mix, any, dog, and you guys do your thing and drive out there and pick the dog up. I mean, there's really a lot that goes into this. I don't know how you worked a full-time job before you retired.
Yes, I know, it's a good
because
thing I
it's
retired.
always so big. You too. I
Right.
mean, you
It's
guys.
a good thing we retired. As a matter of fact, your high school classmate Denise, talk about a shout out
Yes,
to
hey,
Denise,
Denise.
gave us our very first hound mix. I don't know how many years ago, and she
That
said,
was
"Can
the
you?"
friend I was thinking of. when
Yes,
you said
and
that.
then
we're having like a psychic
I mean,
thing
Sue
going
might be
on.
able. We must
Another
have 15
subject.
or 20 hound mixes since then
Oh,
that
it's
Wow.
gotta
that
be at
Denise
least
has
that,
sent us,
yeah.
and she always says thank you so much.
She's a sweetie.
And sometimes these dogs, I mean, it's tough to say, but they're an hour from being euthanized, or
Yes,
2 hours, and we
right.
have to make that spur of the moment decision. And a dog like Percy, we'll talk about Percy, that just got adopted
Yes.
at the craft show, is this beautiful, loving, long-eared, furry dog that now has a great home.
Right.
And that
It
was
is
from the
amazing.
shelter that Denise.
Right.
You
So
know,
it's
the
not
people that
like
Denise know.
Greyhound Friends is just
No,
advocating greyhounds.
no, we actually changed our mission statement a few years ago that says that while we're predominantly a greyhound group, we will help other dogs in need.
Right, right. And because I know, because when I had greyhounds, Lucky was small animal friendly, and cat friendly. So if you do have cats, it doesn't mean you can't have a
Correct.
greyhound. I
About
just
half
wanna
of our
say that.
dogs, yes.
And if you have small dogs, it doesn't mean that you can't have a greyhound. They really are a great animal to look into if you're looking for an animal to adopt for the holidays, or for any time. But how does that process go to find out if, like you say, you test them to see if they're cat
Yes,
friendly?
yes, we have a resident cat that is very safe. No one has to worry. The dog's on a leash. The dog is
Okay, so
muzzled.
they-
But we actually tested, and after doing this for 30 years, the organization, we're pretty on point.
Right.
On McCoy is a lovely dog, but could not live with a
Right.
cat, and his reaction to a cat versus a Lucky is very obvious.
Lucky used to
going-
sleep in the same bed.
Yes,
with
yes.
my cat. They really did. So, and it has to do with their keen senses.
Yes,
and all
exactly.
That. And greyhounds also used to be hunters.
Yes,
right?
yes,
They
yes,
hunted
way
both.
back, yes. Thousands of years ago, they're sight hounds, as
Okay.
opposed to scent hounds.
Right.
A scent hound hunts with their ears
Right.
and nose, and a sight hound hunts with their eyes. So therefore, that's where that keen nature comes in, where
Right.
they see something far away,
Right.
they focus on it, and then they accelerate to hunt.
So this
And
is
that's breeding.
This is a young woman who knows a lot more than she did 17 years ago when she adopted
Yes.
Bucky.
Yes.
That Greyhound for Dummies did you a lot.
Yes, yes, Retired Racing
don't
Greyhound
know
for
if those
Dummies.
don't
Great
work.
book. Put it on your Christmas
Is
list.
McCoy good? Does he need to go out and do his business or anything? Is he good?
I think he's good.
He's good? Okay. So some other things about greyhounds, because I know we used to talk about things like you can't have just one, and they really
Yes.
don't shed. They're not smelly.
No, they don't have a lot of the dander that a lot of the dogs have. They're really very, very clean pets. They don't shed a lot. They do shed. Some people say greyhounds don't shed. They shed.
Right.
It's not a poodle, but they don't shed as much as a lot of the other breeds that we have.
Right.
People refer to them as the 45-mile-an-hour couch potato because
Right.
while they do run 45 miles an hour,
They
they
really
are
are
really
like-
sprinters and don't have a whole lot of energy.
Right.
They're not like your sporting dogs, your retrievers, your spaniels. They don't have that type of energy.
And you don't need a lot of room. I think this
You
is
don't
another
need a
big
lot of room.
misconception. Someone in an apartment can
Correct.
have a greyhound
Correct.
because there is absolutely. They curl themselves up into a little tiny ball and lay
Yes.
on a bed. It's amazing for the size of them.
Yes.
That
Yes.
people think, oh, they must run around the house and,
Right.
like you said, yeah, take them out for a walk or
Right.
whatever. But
Absolutely.
they're good. They're great for apartment living.
Oh, we have a lot of greyhounds that we adopt in New York City,
Right.
and they live beautifully. And for the cat lovers out there, a lot of people say that greyhounds are very cat-like.
Right. Well, that's why
They walk quietly. They curl. Like
that's
you said,
why
they curl
Mr.
up in.
Hoity-toity, who does love cats,
They
would be a
they
great
are.
greyhound.
I was going to ask you, do they typically bark a lot, or
I
know
mean,
the
my
dogs
lemon
we've
drop
had,
barks a
but-
lot, but she's probably not a good example. I mean, here's an example that we came to
very
the
quiet.
radio station
Right.
today. We're in here for an hour. McCoy's not barking. We had a lot of other guests coming in, I think, for another radio, he wasn't barking. They're
No,
pretty
nothing.
quiet.
Wow.
They're almost cat-like.
Absolutely.
Well, that's, it's so true. As you know, growing up, we wanted a dog and got a skunk somehow. Strange story for another time. But yeah, we got a skunk named Herbie. He was dissented. We got him at a pet shop. We did eventually end up with a dog, which was a rescue.
Yes.
A poodle. She was
Yes.
2 years old. But where was I going with that story?
I would love to hear more about that skunk story, to be honest.
No, what I was saying is, we never grew up with cats
Right.
because mommy thought cats were sneaky. That's why she didn't want to have a cat because, they're just so sneaky. Like, really, what are they going to do when you're not home, go in your underwear drawer and take your money? Like, what? Well, I don't know what you mean by sneaky. What, right? What are they going to do? So I didn't get a cat, my first cat, until I was an adult. And I had my own place and I got a cat. Gizzy was her name. And they make wonderful pets. And if you love cats, you'll love a greyhound.
Right.
Because they are actually very similar. The difference is they don't go in a litter box. That
Yeah.
would be, or it would have to be a really
Yeah.
large litter box,
Yes, and they're a really big cat. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But it is. They do have some of those, those skills and personality traits. They really do.
Right. What else would you like to add? I'd like to give you some time. Anything that you want to add about Greyhound Friends of New Jersey, about people getting involved, about volunteers?
I think just, Greyhound Friends of New Jersey, when we adopted our dog, I can remember putting Bucky in the car thinking, these are really nice people, but I don't think I'll ever have more than one dog or a van with stickers on it or earrings that, dangle with greyhounds, and now I have all 3. So it's amazing how not only the dogs come into your life, but so does this whole wonderful group of people. I've met some of the most amazing people through these dogs, and so it's been wonderful in that way too. I think dogs teach you patience and tolerance and kindness.
It's like children. I always said that, when you have children, everybody thinks when they're planning a family and they get pregnant and they say, okay, you imagine you have this little baby and you look at this little baby and you think, I'm going to teach you so much. And the truth is, they teach you so
Yeah.
much. Really, you learn. That's most of my learning was from then
Yes.
on,
Yes.
I just wanted to bring up the Linda Blair thing too, because I'd like you guys to come back in January, and maybe
Yes.
Linda can call in.
Yes.
Unless she wants to fly.
Yeah, wouldn't that be? I talked to Linda.
Did you? Okay.
Yes,
so Linda
just
Blair,
2
real
weeks
quick,
ago. She's doing great.
That Linda Blair from
From The Exorcist.
She has right. She doesn't love when we bring up The Exorcist, but hey,
But that's what everybody knows her by.
So Linda Blair is very involved in animal rescue. She actually rescues pit bulls. And I know she has said, because I've gotten to know her through my sister, who's pretty friendly with her, that she always felt that pit bulls are misunderstood, sort of like she was, because what she went through with The Exorcist and with the movie was people demonized her. And they stopped thinking of Linda as the actress who played Reagan. They started thinking of her as Reagan, the girl who was possessed by the devil. So she got death threats. People don't know really what went on. And as a child, this affects you very adversely. And so she became involved with pit bull rescue because it was a way of her sort of connecting. And she does a great thing. So I would love it if we can either have her on the phone when Dr. Stobie comes, because I would love to have you guys come back and talk some more about some of the other programs. But how did that all come about with Linda?
Well, it's kind of funny because my husband's son is an attorney in California, and she needed some legal work done, and he helped her out in pro bono. And she said, I wish I could pay you back. And he's like, well, you can pay me back because my dad and Maria do Greyhound Rescue. Why don't you help them promote their cause? And that's really how it all started. Right. And she flew out here, and I opened the door, and this little tiny thing
she's 80,
jumped.
She's 80 pounds
soaking wet. Jumped in
now.
our arms, and it was again, as they say, a beginning of a beautiful friendship. And we have family in California, so we visit her when we're out there. She has a foundation. She actually has. It would be what we would probably consider like a ranch with 200 pit bulls
Wow.
that she adopts out, and she is about animal advocacy, just like when you say it isn't just greyhounds for us, it isn't just pit bulls for her. And she has really dedicated all of her adult life, because really most of her famous movies and celebrity came when she was, as you say, a child or a teenager, but she's really dedicated most of her adult life to animal rescue, and she takes it very seriously, and she's great. And it's funny that you mentioned about North Star. When she was out here once, she actually always wanted to be a veterinarian, but became an actress. So she actually shadowed one of the doctors at North Star
Oh, how nice.
for a day, and got to put scrubs on and go into the OR room and watch a surgery. And so she actually knows Dr. Stobie and a number of the doctors at North Star because of that.
That would be great if we
So
could
it'd
maybe
be great.
set something up.
Something up. It would be great. Linda's a great person who cares a lot about animals.
With Sandy, when Superstorm
Yes,
Sandy hit,
yes.
she was here for, and we all got together, and
Yes.
that's when we
We
went
had
to see your
Subway.
house for the first
Yes.
time. Yeah, we had
Subway at your kitchen
Yes.
table.
It's the only
Yeah.
place that was open, probably.
Yes,
Yes.
that's true. So that would be awesome. And I think, here we go with the shameless plugs. I mean, we may have dressed her for a few occasions.
Maybe.
Maybe
on RuPaul's Drag Race.
New York City Glitch, yes, we may have done that.
Once or twice.
Anyway, I think, we're not sure whether or not we're going to have a show in December. January, we're going to be on probably every Monday. We're going to shoot Doc
that's
J
great.
for a different night, but if it has to be Monday, it's going to have to be Mondays, but we'll be with you all every week, and we hope you join us. We can't thank you enough, Maria, for coming here. We appreciate it. We love all the information that you've given out. Sue, thank you so much for everything you do. McCoy, can we bring him over here one last time to say goodbye? Come here, baby. Come here.
You were a
Bring
great
him right in
ambassador for
front.
your breed.
Make sure we can see him there on the. There he is. A good-looking boy. Good-looking boy. So we have all the information out. We're going to put it out. This is going to stream, like I said, live, and we'll put Greyhound Friends of New Jersey and
Thank
Vet
you.
I
And
Care.
I don't know if we discussed also the drawing is going to be January 4th, 2020.
Yes,
Okay.
So-
yes,
just
January
over a
4th,
month.
2020. So you have over a month to sell tickets, lots and lots of tickets,
But
so
we
the winner
wanna
wins
not
a lot of
let
money.
people think over a month. We want to think shorter time
Yes.
span. So hurry, get your
Yes,
tickets.
get to
right
New
after
York City Glitch.
Christmas.
Brandon will have them
Yep.
there starting
Yes,
tomorrow.
We'll have plenty.
Yes, starting tomorrow, we will have the tickets. So come in, buy your tickets, and
It's for a great cause.
I think that's about it. We want everybody to have a wonderful and safe, Thanksgiving,
and a
and-
wonderful Black Friday.
and a wonderful Black Friday. If you're
Get
out
some good
shopping, be
deals.
careful. Get some great deals,
Especially at
and
New York City Glitz.
especially at New York City Glitz.
50% off.
50.
8 to 10 a.m.
We have to shamelessly plug ourselves.
Yes, you
Come
should.
on.
It's a great store.
Right?
40% off.
All my gowns are from New York
Yes,
City Glitz.
yes.
You have a whole collection.
I have a whole
You
collection.
could open your own store and be our competition.
Yes, I mean, I have to say, not just because she's my sister and I love Brandon, but people have come up to me at events and said, that's the prettiest dress in the room. And I said, of course, because it's New York City Glitz.
How about that one over there? Do you love her?
And I love her, yes, absolutely.
She's like that girl named Erica.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you for
It was
having
great.
us. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Happy holidays.